Evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Scarf Bagara War with me, Russ Johnson. I'm joined by Waggie. That started to sound like someone really dodgy then. Waggie, you all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, cheers. Do we need to, I know we're going to discuss it, but do we need to change the intro now that we don't have Sarc anymore?
Yeah, and the only other intro I've got is Paddy as well. Yeah, there'll be a new intro coming very soon.
Need to change my haircut as well.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
What are you going for, tour, eh?
Right.
We're also joined by Andy.
Hello.
Friend of the podcast. You all right, mate? Come on. For the audio listeners, he's made the t-shirts. Friend of the show. Oh, friend of the show.
Now you've just made me out to be a really bad stalker. I made my own t-shirt.
No, I don't think it's bad. I think it's good, mate. It's good. I like it. So tonight, then, we are part of the TalkSport fan network, and we are charity partners with Mentel, as everybody knows. So check out those. Maybe not TalkSport as much, but definitely check out Mentel if you need that. And we've already done 2 podcasts. We've done Andy Nevitt, Matt Baxter, and I'm going to get Dave Thompson, and I'm going to get Damon Carroll on at some point. I know he's watching because he's on Facebook watching.
Yeah.
I do need to get you on, Damon, and I do need to ring you. So please bear with me on that one. Cheers. Thank you. On the agenda tonight, boys, we have got the outgoings. We're going to talk about Sarc and Byrne going to Bradford. Mac has got a new contract. Maybe cover the Sarc interview because I think a lot of people have seen that. A little bit of fallout from that, I think. I don't mean fallout as in people falling out. I meant just, a bit of information like that. We could talk season tickets. We can talk Chally getting the LMA Manager of the Year. And anything else we want to. And if we've got time, we can bolt on the England provisional 30-man squad and start talking about that because that is going to be bringing its way to us very, very soon. How about that then? Is that all right for you?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Right. Let's cover then in glory Sarcevic and Byrne leaving. Let's start with Byrne. Happy, sad, right decision, wrong decision? What do you think?
Right decision.
I think it was the right decision. I think we sort of said it on the first squad pod. We talked about it, saying that he's been a good backup, but I think going into League One, I don't think he's a League One standard, and I think we need to free up that space for another decent right centre back or someone, another good defender to come in who is League One, potentially Championship. So I think I think it wasn't unexpected. Good, we've got a fee for him. Obviously, he's moved to Stockport B team. So
that was Oldham.
Well, no, it seems to be Bradford now, doesn't it? Because isn't the rumours that Croasdale's going there as well? So,
is there?
Yeah, I've seen it somewhere that there's apparently that's looking likely where Crows is going. So they'll be signing a few of our players. So yeah, I don't think it was unexpected. How did you think, Russ? Did you see it coming? Did you think it was happening, or did you see him being part of the squad for next year?
Well, I mean, I'll ask the questions, Waggie. No, I'm joking. Well, I didn't get involved in the squad pod, did I? So
no, exactly. So that's why we are after your opinion.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. I'm kind of agreeing with some of these comments that are coming in. I think it's a good move for him and for us. Also, it's harsh to say because football's a brutal business, but I do think he was kind of back up in a League Two, top half League Two team. Say top half, we won the league, so it's difficult to get in the first place. I think he's unlucky because of Pie, but still saying that, I don't think we could have took him into League One and he'd have got anywhere near the first team. So I think it's good for us, and it's good for him that he's got a new club because he's got a League Two winners medal to his name, hasn't he? So it's good. That's good for your TV as a footballer, isn't it? So I just think it's good all round. So I'm glad he's got a club. What about you, Andy? Did you throw him in?
I agree that glad he's got a club, but football moves on, doesn't it? And as much as we want to keep all the players and what have you, I just think it was just nowhere near going to be good enough. He was only just about good enough for League Two, I would say, or where we were in League Two. I just think there's another player off the books. He's not taken up a year's wages or what. I don't even. Well, it would have been a year's wages, wouldn't it? Because
he had 12 months left, didn't he?
On his contracts. I just think that there's better out there. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't awful, but I just thought, we have aspirations. We've got a new plan now, haven't we? A 3-year plan to get to the Championship. We need to go, like Stotty said in his interview, we need to start with a bit of young blood and start this new process. And having players on the bench just to make up numbers, I don't think fits the bill. So fair play to him, got a new contract. I just think it's time to let go to some of the players that are going.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're undoubtedly going to bring somebody in, aren't we? I mean, there's rumours of Liam Gordon from St Johnston.
Yes.
So when we bring somebody in, you'd think that when we bring somebody in, they're going to be better than what we've got, potentially. Yeah. Maybe not as better than Horsfall, perhaps. Yeah. If it was Football Manager, you'd get better than what you've got, wouldn't you? That's what you'd do. I know it's a computer game. Then everybody drops down. If we get a new defender in, say we're playing 4 at the back, does that mean that Pye doesn't get a game next season in centre half because we've got a Horsfall? I think he's immovable, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. But we just it's as you say, as Andy said, it's that 3-year vision now that we've got, isn't it? So we want somebody at the same level as Horsfall and Pye, don't we? So that if we are going to play a back 3, then they can step in and play in the back 3, or we have them on the bench to come off and replace Horsfall or Pye if the game needs to be changed and stuff. So I think it's more that side of things, isn't it? It's having a bit more versatility and say progressing the standard. So you replace Byrne, who, as we've said, was a backup, an understudy, but now we want somebody on par, or as you say, maybe better.
Better, because it goes back to what me and Jimmy did in the second squad pod. That if you've got Byrne's not going to push Pye. Don't get me wrong, he's got the experience and what have you, but it won't be long before Pye, or if he's not already, is better than Byrne. So you need better than Pye to make Pye improve. Too many pies in this sentence. but you know what I mean? It's like similar to like the Croasdale and the Camps and sort of thing. We need better than Camps to improve Camps. Whereas Croasdale, I don't think is going to improve Camps as we go forward and upwards.
Yeah. The thing that's pleased me, I think, more than anything from Paddy, Sarc, and Byrne going is they're not gone to clubs in our division. And there was rumours of certainly Paddy maybe going to a club in our division, maybe even Sarc. I think I might have seen that rumour, but it's just pleasing that they're not going to clubs in our division, not because of anything malicious. It's just because I think we've got it right. The overall decision to let them go. Do you know what I mean?
That will always bite us where it hurts. Former players playing against us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it has done. It's like a million times in the past, isn't it? I'm sure it happens to every club.
No,
you don't. I remember Aaron Wilbraham. I don't know what it was, but he just scored for every club against us, didn't he? Every club he played for, he scored against us. Pretty sure.
Yeah,
might be an exception to that. County in 1883 says Blackpool was the Paddy rumour. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And it's that value thing as well that Stott mentioned, wasn't it? So we want to get better in, and the better can get even better to create that value. Because when you start getting into the Championship, no disrespect to League Two, it starts getting serious, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And as I say, we bought players to get us out of the National League and to perform in League Two. But now, as you say, it's the next step, isn't it? As we've sort of said a few times, that certainly this year, you think that sort of top 6, top 8, like League One clubs that we reckon are going to be there or thereabouts, your Birmingham and stuff like that. They're a different level, aren't they? They're Championship, Premier League, ex-Premier League clubs and stuff. So it's now you've got to progress. You've got to bring in young players. You can't have an aging squad if you want to be competing. So I think that's what we've, the way that Stott said it, everyone would have loved to have given Paddy a 2-year contract and given Sarc a 2-year contract, but the ages and things, as I say, the way we want to progress, then it's just not possible. We've changed our model, haven't we? Our recruitment model by the looks of it, which is what we need if we want to get in the Championship.
Yeah, and we've tried to keep them, haven't we? It's nice that they've kind of from what I've seen, all the messages from the players and what have you, they've all come through as I've got it to leaving. So it seems like they're all leaving on good terms, which is always nice,
Yeah.
It's. I think for the Paddy and Sarc, am I moving on? Or am I doing your job now, Russ?
No, carry on.
I'm only doing it in case
you're doing well. C- at the moment. Carry on.
well, I'm only doing it in case you forget to do that bit as well. But yeah, I think I've lost train of thought now. You take over.
Okay, I'll take it. Someone's just mentioned that it's Andy says, sure, Albi only scored in one game against us. I'm not. If that's right, then slap my ass and call me Chally. I don't know why I've got it in my head that he scored. He seemed to score every time he played against us. I might be wrong, or maybe I'm getting confused. And every time I watched him on the telly, he scored. Perhaps for like Bristol City and all these different things.
There is a player out there, but I don't think it is Albi. But I can't remember who it is. But I'm pretty sure people listening will know. But yeah,
what the scores past us? You mean all the time?
Yeah,
former player.
All the time. Well, I think all former players score past us.
Yeah, well, that's how the conversation started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Russ.
Anyway, moving on to Sarcevic then. Was you surprised to see him leave?
No.
You weren't surprised to see him leave. That's a surprise.
What?
Well, because I know, we're going into Inception now, 2 levels. No, but I was surprised that I was dead surprised that he left. I really was. That was more of a shock than Paddy to me.
No, I think I was more shocked than Paddy. Like, I kind of, because there was rumours, wasn't there, that we'd offered this, that, and the other to the various, and I thought Paddy would have stayed for another year. I could see why he hasn't, but Sarc, I don't know. He was my most improved player, I would say, from years as he did get better and better. But he is quite injury prone. He has had a few injuries, hasn't he? And I just think 1 year, he was never going to take it. Well, he hasn't, has he? So
no.
But yeah, as it came in, I was like, I'm gutted. I am absolutely gutted. I would have loved to have seen him play for us in League One, but I wasn't that like, I kind of expected it.
I was surprised more because Paddy had gone. Because I know we've talked about changing the recruit model, but I was thinking more that like having an old head in the,
the experience,
just to bed in the new players and stuff like that. So I think I was more surprised. But as you say, we were only going to offer him a year's contract. So he's gone and got a 2-year contract elsewhere. So not so. And again, we sort of talked about it on the pod. We would love to have kept Paddy. We'd love to have kept Sarc, but we were only going to offer him 1-year contract. As much as us as fans were like, no, give them both 2 years, keep them there. But as you say, we're not. We only play Football Manager. And it's not real life, is it? As you say, it's a cutthroat business, and to move on with that's all that we're going to offer them. So and they're not going to sit and go, oh, all right then. And there's a case of, I might get another one in 12 months' time. You've got to look after yourself. It's like anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Any form of life, you've got to look after yourself. So it was a business decision just as much as rather than a heart decision, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it just caught me on the hop. Really, I just didn't expect to see that come on my timeline when it did.
Was it because of the Paddy Sarc and Paddy?
experience.
Yeah.
I think it was. I don't know. I had it in my head that because I know he's 32, he's younger than Paddy, isn't he? So you could argue that you could get another 2 years out of him because he's got experience at League One and he's been a captain at League One, hasn't he, for Bolton? Yeah. So I was thinking it would be not so much loyalty, but just be nice to give him a 2-year contract and let him have a go at League One, and he's got the experience, and I thought that would be good for the changing room. That's why I wasn't expecting him to go. So that's why it caught me on the hop a bit.
Did you see his welcome to Bradford video?
It did, yes.
I thought it was a bit. I mean, I enjoyed all the Manchester references and stuff in it, but I just thought it was a bit shit.
Well, I was going to say this. I think this pod's got it perfect with the part, where normally I was introduced first. I was on the show from the start today, but normally you get introduced. Sarc was sat there like something out of the Wax Museum. You didn't move for about 5 minutes while they had a conversation about them and the dad playing golf or something. It was like, and Sarc just literally just sat there. It was like, are they going to introduce him, or it's all a bit weird, to be honest? But
yeah, was he wearing a
No, I think we've got confused. I'm talking about the Bradford City video of him being unveiled, Andy, not the actual Sarc interview, the podcast interview.
Right. Okay.
We will come on to that. So yeah,
do you want to dump me off and introduce me again? And
No, I know what you mean. I know what you're both talking about. But Waggy, for you, wasn't he wearing a Parker? They've got a Parker for him because he's from Manchester.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty crap. I think I suppose the idea was right, but I just don't think it was executed very well. I just thought it looked a bit lame, realistically.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we don't do that, do we? Ours is just not yet anyway.
Ours just
a scarf at the training ground, like
Well, it used to be that piece of paper with a pen that didn't work like that. just signed,
And on the table it always seemed to be too high when they were like trying to sign.
And tell you what, we're going to do getting the reses later. I need to write this down. I've just thought of getting the reses. I need a pen. Oh no, I don't need a pen. I've got a computer in front of me. Just write it down on Notepad. Old-fashioned pen. Anyway, so that's Sarc. He's going interview with Sarc then on the nice segue. And interview with Sarc on I Had Trials Once. I think it was. Was it that one?
Something like that. Yeah.
What did you make of that? Because there was a few things that came out of that. Like the Wrexham comment, the Marbella trip to Marbella. There was a few things. His time at Bolton was quite interesting, I thought.
Demise.
Where should we start?
I suppose let Andy start with what he was talking about at the beginning of the pod. I thought that was quite a bit. It was like, crack on, come on. Are we having this pod with somebody, or are you just having a chat between the two of you? Talking about
it's like talking about their own holiday. And don't get me wrong, you need an icebreaker, don't you? But Sarc is just sat. It'd be like you guys coming on here, talking to yourself about holidays and what you did at the weekend and golf and how many nights out you had in a week away in Marbella. And I'm just sat there like that, Well, I wouldn't be, because I'd proper get, put my feet in and start talking, which is what I normally do. But, it's all a bit like weird. But I thought generally it was quite a good pod, to be fair. I quite like the guy from Salford, who was on that Salford documentary.
Yeah, is it Gaz Seddon? Is it?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. But as you say, when they'd actually started talking to Sarc, the thing that surprised me when they said they had a £5,000 budget for the day and £5,000 budget for the night, and they were getting charged £465 for a 12 quid bottle of Desero or whatever it was.
Desero. Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, Jesus, that's some going that.
£5,000, I'd be ruined.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they probably had to put their hand in their own pocket, didn't they? Because £5,000 in the day, £5,000 at night, and what was it? What do you say? £450 for a bottle of Disaronno.
Something like that. £450.
Yeah, there was 25 of them, I think.
20. Did he start to say 20? 24, 25. It was pretty big. So You're
yeah,
still
and then
throwing a decent wedge of money in, though, aren't you?
yeah, and then yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not, don't get me wrong. I can't afford 10 grand a day. Like, you know, I don't think anybody listening to this podcast can. And if you can, message us privately, and we'll have a chat about like sponsorship and stuff. But
yeah, because I'll definitely be able to recruit 24 people to come along. Don't you worry about
exactly,
that.
yeah. But what I was going to say is there's 24, 25 lads out there, 10 grand a day, charge £450 for a bottle, which is just ridiculous. And then he said they were being charged for someone to come and run up and serve it for him, and they were doing continental measures, which if you've been abroad, you know what that is. It's like 3-4 times what you get here.
Yeah.
So he said he was wincing, and I can imagine that I'd have been livid, me, even though it's not my money. So they'd have gone through that really, really quickly, surely.
Apart from the first night where they said there was nobody there.
yeah. I thought that was interesting actually. On the when he said that he was hoping that there was no socials, you know, nobody taking socials and stuff because it had just been embarrassing. And I think he had one eye on, or one sort of part of his mind on the Wrexham lot going to Las Vegas, because they all went to Las Vegas and had, you know, it looks like a really good time. And our lads went to Marbella and there was nobody there.
Imagine if that got leaked out. Well, it's going to be leaked out now anyway because of the podcast, isn't it? But yeah.
Well, he said it on. I had trials once. He said it on there, didn't he? So
yeah.
But yeah, a bit embarrassing because they love a bit of a rivalry, don't they? The Wrexham lot. So they'll probably be down our necks about that.
Probably
no one noticed that. I haven't noticed. No.
Well, speaking to that, I think that's a good way to say for the next point is there's been a lot of clickbait, hasn't there, because of what he said about the Wrexham documentary.
Yes.
And all he said was he didn't like it because it wasn't about the football.
Yeah, exactly. That is literally all he said.
That is literally what he said. It was more, he found it boring because it wasn't about the football. It was more about the community stuff and the background stuff, which he said, I'm not interested in. And then there's 3 or 4 different Wrexham groups that have jumped on that and put clickbaits on of, oh, Sarc is slagging us off, rivalry, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, fuck off, idiots. You're just trying to, you know, we're trying to cause this rivalry. So now they're sensationalizing something that an ex-county player has said in a podcast.
But there's no rivalry.
Well, exactly. There's no rivalry.
Well, it's like, who cares? Just like, it just winds me up. It's just a circus, isn't it? It really is. And somehow I feel like we're going back towards Wrexham again. But, you know, it's just, I'm watching this series and it's just, the bits with Parky in the changing rooms really wind me up. Because I just don't believe that he would be like that. You know, like effing and he might have like a 3-minute sketch at the end. You know, for the camera sort of thing.
Yeah,
I don't believe that that's every halftime team talk. It's like that. Fucking hell. Apologies for language. Am I allowed to swear on it? Don't know.
Yeah, of course you are. Yeah. Of course you are. No, you're right. I mean, I've started to watch the 3rd series. I watched the first one because I knew how it ended. Didn't watch the second one because I know how it ended. I know we're not in it, but the 3rd one we're in it, aren't we? So
yeah,
I've been watching that one. I can totally understand where Sarc is coming from, having watched all of the others, like, you know, all the All or Nothings and the Sunderland Till I Die, which I think is probably the best one, to be honest. There's a Leighton Orient one that I've not watched, and there's all these others. And I do watch it, so I've been watching the Wrexham one. And you're right, Andy. Right, I've watched it, and my wife's been in the room, and she's like, "What is that?" She's like, "That's disgusting. There's no need for the expletives, almost like every other word." My stepdad, massive county fan, by the way. I remember when I was younger, he once said, "Michael Shue fucking macker," and I thought that was impressive. You know, putting the swear word in between. But he takes it to another level, doesn't he? He's like, every 3rd word is F this, F that. And I've been saying to my wife, Dave Chally, I don't think Dave Chally could be like that. Phil Parkinson's proper old school, isn't he? That old dinosaur kind of way of doing it.
There must be swear words and there must be a few, you know,
of course.
There's going to be, but I just can't see DC being like that. I reckon those old school I reckon Gannon was like that.
You reckon?
Not as a scale as Parky does it, but
Parky's.
I reckon, yeah, he would have been a bit old school like that. But
I mean, we've seen all the videos, haven't we, of Neil Warnock and that old Leighton Orient. I think he was a Leighton Orient manager in the dressing room as well, in the changing room, effing and jeffing. What was it? Go home and get your tea, and bring your tea as well, because you'll need that to offering a player out. If you're not seeing that, I'm sure somebody in the comments will put it up. But yeah, it just takes it to another. I think it's really, really unprofessional. Really do.
It kind of goes on following on the lines of when Sarc was at Bolton, doesn't it? With how he was treated by, is it Everett, whatever it's called? He never, just the whole. It's like being at school, isn't it? Yeah. Just not even talking to him, or just dropping him or singling him out. It's like it's almost like a form of bullying within the world of football, isn't it? It's like not nice at all. And what Parky does it's just it links to that. It's just not nice. But
no.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting with the Sarc interview, was this talk of his rapid demise from Bolton to come to us. As you said, it happened within a week, didn't it?
Yeah, 6 days, I think he said.
Yeah, 6 days. It's just like, and it just seemed really immature of the manager, the way he went about it as well. He didn't actually sit him down and speak to him. So, to me, I don't know if it seemed to me as if there was something underlying there, but he just didn't want to say what it was and just found an excuse. Wanted to find an excuse of either a way to get rid of him or the way to drop him and stuff. But he brought him in and made him captain.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and I thought it was quite interesting and honest the way he talked about his days at Bolton, and obviously the perception of Bolton fans against him now, and the story he said about when we beat him in the FA Cup, and the BBC was showing this, had the audio on of the crowd singing "Bolton get battered everywhere they go," and cut to the changing room and they're playing Lee Webster, aren't they? Weekend in Paradise, and they're all jumping around.
He says this though, but he missed out the bit that when the camera went to him in the dugout and he was there clapping along and singing along as well. So he was singing it at some point. So
yeah. It's their loss is our gain, though, isn't it? However it happened. I mean, it happened, didn't it? He did say something. He did say, didn't he, though, Sarc? He said Stockport were after him. I say Stockport. I'm saying Stockport, dickhead. County were after him way before that.
Yeah.
So,
and again, we've talked about Steve Rusk being in charge, and forget that he actually signed him, but he only basically signed him, didn't he? Literally 2 games before he got sacked. So you could just imagine Sarc coming to the building. Working for Russ, and Russ gets sacked, and he's just like, "Oh, here we go again."
Russ. Let's face it, though, Russ didn't sign him, did he?
No. But he was signed under Russ. Shall we put it that way?
Yeah, and he couldn't even get a tune out of it. He lost. What he said, didn't he? Lost to Barnet. We lost to Barnet, and we lost to. He did say it today. I listened to it like literally this morning. I can't remember who we lost to. I remember losing to Barnet at home though, and somebody away. I can't remember that. I can't remember the non-league.
Notts County it was.
Oh yeah, Notts County away 2-1. Yeah. We got a late penalty, didn't we?
You just imagine Sarc, can't you? Go on to Dave Conley. Where's the gaffer? It's been sacked about 10 minutes ago. You'd be like, what? What? Just like,
what have I walked into here? Happy days. No, it's a good one though. It's a good one. I do like the I Had Trials Once podcast. It's a bit. I suppose it's going to be. It's a bit lads in it though.
Yeah.
Because they're all. I think they're all former players, are they? Or is what I know? Yeah, they are. It's Jordan Hume, Gaz Seddon, isn't it? So yeah. It is good though. I do like it. It's not as good as this podcast, clearly, but it's
nothing's better than this podcast.
No, I know. Nothing is better than this podcast. Let's talk about season ticket sales. Now, it takes me a while to get my head around this because I'm not the cleverest person in even online here now with you two. So we've sold 3,000, haven't we? Renewals. Have I got that right? That's what that's what's been put out there. Then they went on open sale. So I was thinking I've got till the 31st of May to renew mine, which I think I have. I mean, I've renewed it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then I was at a party on Saturday, and my sister-in-law said, "Oh, we're getting one this year because my little nephew is a massive county fan, which is brilliant. So he's getting one, and the parents are getting one." And she went, "We're getting ours Monday because they go on open sale. You've only got till Monday to renew yours." And I'm like, "Shit."
Yeah. I was the same. I went into absolute texted everybody, panic, like, "Oh my word," because at the end of the day, I was told I got till 31st. So,
which is still the same. So renewals is till the 31st. So the 5,500 season tickets that were bought last year, you have until the 31st of May to buy that ticket again.
Yeah.
If
you say this, Waggy.
If you do not buy your ticket by then what's remaining go on open sale. But they have given, because last year 5,500 was the limit. That was the maximum number of season tickets they would allow.
Yes.
This year it's gone to 6,500. So there's 1,000 seats that are available to a season tickets. So that's why they went on open sale on Monday to buy one of the 1,000 new season tickets.
You say this, Waggy, but the reason why I went into a meltdown was because obviously I was just thinking 31st. And then I get a text off my mate who was trying to get a new season ticket, say, "They've all gone, the 1,000's gone." And I just straight away went, What? I thought, I didn't even know they're going on sale. I thought they're going on sale on the 1st of June. So I straight away texted everybody. I was like, "I thought we had till 31st of May." And they were like, What? We have? And then,
Yeah. Should we just put it out there now, a disclaimer? This is not anything that we're not dissing the club here. The communication has been good. It's just that I'm a bit thick. So that's all I'm putting it down to. So
they did sell out really quickly because I know one of my mates was trying to get one.
So we've sold 3,000 of the renewals, 1,000 of the new open sale ones. They've gone. So we're at 4,000 now. If we sell another 2,500 renewals, three makes it 5.5. Then that'll be 6,500, and then it's shut off, and it's just walk-ups after that. Well, walk-ups and open sale tickets every match.
Yes, it's open sale tickets for the rest of the tickets.
Why do you think they are capping it?
I think it's a rule, isn't it? Is it not a rule?
I think it's a rule. There's only a maximum amount of season tickets that you can have. So you have to have a certain percentage for open sale, and obviously there's a certain percentage for away fans.
Would that be based in which league? Because
I know it's based on capacity.
So nothing's changed. So I found it weird last year where they capped it at 5.5, and then all of a sudden there's 1,000 more seats.
That's a point, because nothing's changed, has it?
No, nothing's changed in terms of the league.
So Daniel Davis says yes, there is a max, but does anybody know what it is? I bet there is a max. We just didn't hit it last season. Maybe they were just temporary, testing the temperature.
I don't know if it was a case of what their expectations were of what they could sell. So, and they wanted to keep it that we could get, a lot of the ground. Well, that's like almost 4,000 like match day tickets, isn't it? That's allowed. So maybe they just wanted it to try and to be able to have that walk up for big games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good points. Silomas says, better to cap it to that if the ground redevelopment starts and lose some potential capacity that we can accommodate everyone. Yeah, I think that's right, isn't it? Because they've got to think about that, haven't they? Because we're going to have reduced capacity at some point.
Yeah,
starting
next year. But that's that. And I think, did Stock sort of mention that is around? Did Stock mention it? Have I seen it somewhere else? It was basically that's why they didn't or won't be selling season tickets for the railway end until it's been redeveloped.
Right.
Because then that gives us, that's our overspill sort of thing, isn't it? If it's a big game or something like that, then that's when we get a lot of the day trippers or the newer fans that want to come in, in and sit in the railway end. So that is the bit that we take that away. We've not got rehouse people. We've not got to find an alternative seating or anything like that. So
yeah, and we should make that distinction between new fans and day trippers. They're all welcome. I've had a couple of messages in the comments from last week's show saying a really nice one actually from one person. I forget his name, but I'm sure it was a bloke. We
Do you
spoke about
remember anything, Russ?
I know, I'm
Remember
rubbish.
the comments? It's just shit with names.
I've already forgot what get me getting the reses was that I remembered before. Honestly, anyway,
I've never known anyone with a memory
I'm
like
bad, man,
yours.
I'm bad.
It's unbelievable.
This is why I don't do quizzes and things. Actually, I've forgotten what I was going to say now.
The nice comment that we had.
Oh yeah, the nice comment we had. He said
by a person's name that you don't remember. But
yeah, I don't remember. He said he's one of the new fans. He brought his kids from 2017, I think he said, because his kids wanted to come. He's grown into it. He's had another kid since then. They like it as well. So they both, all three of them come. I think it's three, and they're just like they're all in. And and he considers himself one of the new fans, and yeah, he said he loves the podcast. So that's what we want, isn't it? That's what we want. We want to sweep up all these people, that are in the borough.
Yeah.
Get them all coming in.
That's why they came in with the capacity of how many people that live in the borough, isn't it? Compared to other clubs that they could have bought. Sam Wilson said, "Look at 270." I could be wrong here. My maths is going to be way worse than yours, Russ. What was it? 270,000 people that live in the borough, or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And we're only at the moment tapping into what 9,000 or 10,000 a game. Yeah. So can you imagine? I know you told me I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer for it, Russ. But can you imagine two Cheadlens? The noise is going to be on point. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I'll say it again. I can't wait, but I know I have to.
Yeah, you have to wait. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I was only joking when I said that, but it is. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's just because it's county and I love county that much, but it all feels like it's dead good. Do you know what I mean? And what I mean by that is right. We've got this owner who's local, so we've got our integrity because of that, haven't we? We're not selling out. And he's all for the club. He's ticking off all the boxes. Training ground in the borough long term, out of the borough short term, doing up the ground. When you think about where we are, we've got the most famous club in the world on our doorstep and the richest one. Okay, one of them's got loads of thingies hanging over it, but hopefully that plays out. So footballers from those clubs traditionally all live south of our town, don't they? Yep. In all the posh areas. So our catchment for fans, catchment for players to come into the club from all the Cat ones that Stotty said, is just immense. And then you add to that the catchment and the appeal for players to come and play for us when we bring them in from external, like from other clubs. And we can say, well, you can live in Manchester City Centre if you want, or you can go live in Alderley Edge. It's up to you because you are where you are. We're 2 hours from London. You've got an airport on your doorstep, the M60. Do you know what I mean? All these things just rattle around my head going, I can feel it like, are we the centre of the world or something in Stockport? Do you know what I mean? Well, you name another club apart from Man City and Man United where all of those things are true. I can't think of one. London, probably, obviously London and maybe some of the big cities, but not a club of our size that are in those places.
No,
I can't think of any. As you say, I think the biggest thing is it's the vision that he came in with. Him and Wilson came in with when they started was, we want to be a championship team, so we put everything in place to be a championship team now, rather than. And it seems, I know the klaxons will be going off across the border again. But you look at like the infrastructure that Wrexham have got. They've not really got an academy. They've not got a training ground. They've not got these things in place.
No.
When they're pushing for Premiership, apparently, isn't it? One of the directors has come out today, or one of them saying that's where they're aiming, is the Premier League. So you need to be putting things in place now to be able to do that and have that properly. Because, as you say, if I'm not saying we are going to get promoted, but this year, but if we got promoted straight to the Championship, we've got a lot of infrastructure in place for a Championship club. You've got the academy, everything that Stott said about the academy. Only 2 years in, it was up there as a Premier League standard. We're getting the Vita Dome that's going to be built shortly. It's all those things that we've put in place from the very early days. Obviously, it's cost us some money, but we reap the rewards of that because we can attract better players. And as they said as well, every person that comes and has a walk around Carrington, they're like, wow, what's this?
And it must what you're saying, Waggie, it must make a difference. Sorry to cut in there, but it must make a difference because every player that's signed for us since, Carrington's been sort of redone is, I see the trainer says, wow, just unbelievable, and especially with the youth system that we've now got in place and it's up and running, it must make a massive difference. So if you've got a high profile player is about to sign for either us or Wrexham, you've got to be a certain player to go to that circus, haven't you? So, but what would you want? Would you want a team that's got this structure already in place, out with this world training facilities, and with a future of getting probably even better training facilities? Because when the training facilities do come back to the borough, they're not going to be worse than what they are now, are they? They're going to be better.
Yeah.
So it must make a difference.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
And I think it also, as well, that side of things is when you start talking about the likes of Villa players that we've had. We're talking now probably United City players that we're going to start getting on loan and stuff. You come into facilities like that, and it's like, oh, actually, these are very similar to what we're training with now. So there's still that they don't feel as much of an upheaval coming and being in that sort of environment because it's very, very professional, isn't it?
Yeah. And I know we shouldn't talk about the Welsh lot and the Claxons, but this is what doesn't ring. It doesn't add up for me. They're not concentrating on a training ground and the academy. They're concentrating on Rob buying Ryan Reynolds a park in the centre of Wrexham and Paul Mullin releasing a book. And I'm like, I think you've got your priorities wrong, is what I'd say.
Yeah. It all seems a bit rushed as well. And I could be wrong, obviously, it's my opinion, but I think they may. So it's out with the bookies tipping them to win the league again. It's like they've done a double jump. Everyone hated the thing that happened to us last year, but I think it was the best thing for us.
Yeah.
Because now we're in that position where we're not tied down to these 2-year contracts, so we can get players in good enough to consolidate. Or me personally, I think we'll make the playoffs, but. I just think a double jump, I just don't think they'll be as good as what people make out them to be.
Yeah. No, I agree. Back to the season tickets then, just to close this this part of the discussion off. Anthony Nixon, 4 times new season tickets. So pleased to get my family and teenage kids on board. They will see what I saw in the 90s. It's good to be back. Absolutely brilliant.
Agreed.
Like top buzz, that in it. As a 90s phrase. Top buzz. Top buzz. Okay, moving on. Chally won LMA Manager of the Year. I thought, congratulations to Chally for that. Definitely deserved. Why didn't he win League 2 Manager of the Year then? Why is he? What criteria did they use to separate one from winning one and not the other?
I think because the week that they announced the League One, that Mansfield were top and we dropped to second.
Did Cloughie win it? Did he win?
Did he?
Oh, did he? Did he? Right.
Yeah, Cloughie won it.
I've forgotten about that. Funnily enough,
but did not. I think it was Cloughie, MK Dons, was Alexander, and Crew's manager were up for it from the league. But we discussed it with Liam Richardson, didn't it? It's like 4 weeks or 6 weeks before
like January.
Yeah. So it's like. Because, and I think there's been a lot of discussion about Challoner winning the LMA award, is that maybe that should have gone to the Crawley manager because of what he's done, because he was pretty much they were pretty much everybody's favourite to go down, wasn't they? Beginning of last season, and they just got promoted. But I just think you're going to give it pretty much an award like that. The manager that wins the league is the one that's going to win it most of the time, isn't it? Most of the time it is that. So, and it's everyone says, oh yeah, they've got the biggest budget, they've got all these quality players and stuff. but you've still got to do it over 46 games, and with at times 12 first-team players out injured, and we went on a 12-game winning run. We equaled the League Two record for amount of games won in a row. And we did another 10-game unbeaten run towards the end of the season. So these all sorts of different things. It's not just a case of they've got the biggest budget. That's
Did we concede the least amount of goals as well?
Yes, I think so.
Are you sure? I thought Mansfield beat us by 1 on that one.
Oh, did they?
Well, you asking me, Russ, because I asked you.
No, I know from knowing Waggie, he's searching it up now for us. So I'll keep on talking while he does that. Notts County, I know we scored the most because Notts County was second. They were second to us, weren't they? So I know we did. While you're looking up that, Waggie,
you're right. Mansfield conceded 47. We conceded 48.
Yeah, see, I remember that. This is what happens in my house. You see, my wife goes, "You can't remember my birthday, but you can remember County playing in the 90s, in September 1996." And
we scored the most goals.
Yes, and Notts County were behind us, were they? Or Wrexham?
Mansfield, we scored 96, Mansfield scored 90, and then Notts County and Wrexham both scored 89.
Oh, right. So
Mansfield... there was a point where we was on, I think when we was on 80 goals for, Notts County were on 80 goals for, but they'd conceded 79 and we'd conceded something like 40.
Yeah. So but you're right. It's all right having the biggest budget, but you've got to go and do something with it. The comments are coming in. The LMA, people think that the LMA is voted by other managers, which would make sense because it's as Dave Conlon said, it's a bit of a union, isn't it? A bit of a fellowship, isn't it? Because that's what he was doing.
Yeah, you think that they're more qualified to vote for who they think is the best manager.
Yeah. Who does the other one then? Is it just like the EFL office in Preston or something?
It must be the EFL office in Preston. You must go round with it with a tick box, just the sheet like, who do you think League Two? Right, okay, that'll be one for him.
Edgeley Post Office, they decide.
So I'm more inclined to believe the LMA, to be honest. But then again, there was only Horsfall in the team of the year, wasn't they? Which I thought was bizarre as well. Which again, someone said, I think it was Gazendo, voted for in February or something. I can't remember who said it, but yeah.
Yeah, I know it's voted for really early. And as you say, Ben Hinchliffe with the most clean sheets, Golden Glove, but he doesn't make it into the team of the year. Yeah,
it was Aquanco, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And I think I saw that it was based on save percentage, which
but does that not depend on how many chances you concede?
Well, yeah, but it's a goalkeeping award, isn't it? Not.
No, but you've got to save them chances. But if Ben only faces 5 shots a game and he saves 2 of them, then But if the other fella has 10 shots against him, but he saves 5, it's like, well, we conceded less goals, didn't we? So we
did. We did. Let's not get into a debate about percentages.
As you say, it's just the most clean sheets. The most clean sheets. Surely, that's the best goalkeeper.
No, I disagree.
I disagree as well. Come on, Andy. Do you want to go with why you disagree first?
Well, you could. I was always taught as a goalkeeper, you're only as good as your defence. So you're not the sole person in that defence. So you could be doing your bit and save 20, 30 shots, and if that's recorded, you might have a moment. It might not even be your fault, but you might concede less than another team that only has 1 shot on target and doesn't score. Do you know what I mean? So, that's why I disagree.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Why don't you agree?
Well, for the same reason that you didn't agree. I'll bring it back to an analogy that I like to drag out every now and again. It's not about a goalkeeper; it's about Paolo Maldini. So I remember him playing. He had like a really, really low tackle rate, didn't he? And everyone used to go, "Oh yeah, but he doesn't tackle much." Well, that's because he doesn't need to tackle because he's in the right position to draw them away. He's in the right position to give him a yard and all this kind of stuff. So that's why his tackle rate's low. A bit like Neo, he doesn't have to stop bullets. He can dodge them. Do you know what I mean? That's like that, isn't it? And it's the same
thing.
Yeah. Well, the latter part of that was the first bit was Paolo. You know Paolo Maldini, don't you, Andy?
Yeah. I know the football.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't in the Matrix, but
no, he wasn't. Football was in film.
I'm not seeing the Matrix yet. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, gotta watch the Matrix. So yeah, I'm not saying that's but that's kind of analogy. Goalkeepers, it's like Onana in the Premier League is at the top of the league for the most shots faced on Sky for some reason, and I'm like, well, that's great. Man United fans could say that's a positive, but it just means your defense is shit, doesn't it? Basically. Yes. So yeah, shall we move on from this? Because believe it or not, we're 52 minutes in. Let's before we move on, just to the final point I wanted to bring up, just to say as well, the audio descriptive service is back next season for those that need that. So we will be getting either Adam or Will on from the audio descriptive service at some point. I don't know, maybe into the next season, see how they're getting on. But yeah, just to say that is back next season. Shall we finish on the 30-man provisional England squad? I know there's no county players in there, but we are going to do podcasts for the England games. We've got our mate Righty, who's going to be over in Germany. So he's going to report live. Yeah. And I'm also going to do a podcast live from Pinatar. There you go. That's something that's going to happen. Maybe not live. I might record it. Anyway, 30-man provisional England squad.
You mean, or you might forget to record it?
I might forget I said it. Yeah. Any surprises for you?
I think the big two that most people have latched onto, obviously Henderson and Rashford. They were pretty much stalwart part. They were part of the furniture, weren't they? They must have had pictures of him or something. But I can understand why they're not in.
Yeah.
I can understand the players that he's put in instead of them. Rashford's not had a very good season. So as Southgate himself said, there's other players that have played much better in the role, the same position that he's going to play. And as you say, Hendo, it didn't work out going to Saudi. I think he's dropped off really from that. He's not really done that well at Ajax when he moved there, hasn't he? I know he's been injured, I believe, and he's only been back for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I don't think he's fully fit. So you don't want to risk. You're not going to risk a not fit 34-year-old over a fully fit 26, 27-year-old or younger. Are you? You're gonna want to bring in some of that. But it's make or break for him, isn't it? I think for Southgate this.
Oh yeah, I think he'd be gone no matter what. To be honest,
do you not think that if we win it, he might stay? Think he might stay for the World Cup?
No, I don't.
Hasn't he said he's going already?
He's not said. He said he's not going to talk about that until after the.
Right. Okay.
So, but he is out of contract, isn't he? I believe.
Oh, is he? Right. Okay.
I think so. I think his contract's up at the after the Euros. I'm
glad Henderson's not going.
Same.
And same for Rashford. I don't watch enough to see Rashford, but from what I have seen, he's just too lazy. He goes absent in games, and it's just like,
But I understand that, but again, he's one of those that, like Maguire, he's shit for United.
For some reason,
put him in an England shirt, and he wants to play. He puts it on, doesn't he? And I think that was certainly the same for Rashford. But as you say, I can understand why he's not in, even though he has been there and he's been in all the games up to this, hasn't he? Played in all the internationals so far this season and stuff. So, but I think it's a good squad as long as he plays to the squad strengths are not how Southgate wants to normally play. Because I mean, for me, I think you're putting Harry Kane up front and you're putting Foden, Bellingham, and Saka behind him. And then you're going to put Mainu and Rice as the sort of two holding midfielders, but you've got one of them licensed to go forward and the other one drops back. A bit like, Phillips and Rice did. They played quite well together, didn't they, in the last tournament? So I think that, and then it's whoever's the best for playing along the back. So, but I think that's your nucleus. That's your front six that you definitely want to have on the field, and then you've got the likes of your likes of Palmer. Who else have we got? Maddison, Watkins. Other people that can come in and change the game or move it around a bit. So I think it's probably one of his most adventurous squads. I think that he's gone with. But he's training camps.
Yeah, but he's got to trim it down, hasn't he? What is it? 25 you take, is it, or 24, 25? Or is it even less than that?
Yeah, he's got to lose 8 players.
So I think it's going to be a case of, I think it's going to be forced to. I think he's going to have to change his style from this defensive-minded that he is, because we do have issues at the back, don't we, with injuries?
Yeah.
No, we don't have a left-sided player. I think Trippier is the only one.
Unless Shaw can.
Sure, yeah, but
he's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's
always been injured.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a case of we'll score more than you, but we'll score more than we leak in, basically. That midfield and attack is just brilliant.
Yeah,
I think I'm optimistic anyway, so I think we're winning it.
I think we've got a good chance. I definitely think we have with that, like you say, with that attacking line. I'm with you, Andy. That defense and goalkeeper worries the shit out of me.
Just looking at the goalkeepers: Dean Henderson, Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale, and James Trafford. None of them fill me with confidence.
I'd probably Ramsdale over.
I'd probably say Ramsdale, but he's not. He's hardly played, hasn't he? And
he's not played for Arsenal, has he?
He's brought in Raya to replace him, haven't they, at Arsenal? So they don't have confidence. Arteta doesn't seem to have much confidence in him. He's only played him in the domestic cup games, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Who was in the last? Was it Ramsdale in the last tournament?
No, it's Pickford, isn't it? It's always been Pickford.
Yeah, Pickford. Yeah, Ramsdale was in the squad. I'm pretty sure Ramsdale was in the squad. Yeah, I think that, and but the defenders and stuff. But I just think that the biggest one we've not really got an amazing keeper. I think Pickford's a decent shot stopper and a decent distributor, but he's not got the height or really commanding of his box. Has he?
Yeah, it's none of that for me. It's. And maybe Andy will attest to this as well, having been a former goalkeeper. He's very good. He's international standard. He's just not wow standard at an international level. He's not a Manuel Neuer. He's not a who's the Italian lad? The big Italian lad. He's not like a Bellingham in net. So is he? I know they don't come along often and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, Buffon.
No, the one who's in there. The one who's in now. No, the one who's in now.
He's a class keeper, Buffon.
Donnarumma, that's it. Thanks. Jimmy Harmer's online. Yeah, Donnarumma. So we haven't got that, and we haven't got that kind of player with that kind of stature in defence either. The last one we had was probably Rio Ferdinand. I think John Stones is probably the nearest we've got to that, because obviously he's sweeping up domestically for City. But yeah. It's for me, it's Bellingham and Foden that make it. And if we can get them clicking, if you can play them the way they play for their clubs, we've got every chance, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the other thing with Bellingham is that, like, I know Kane wants to drop back, doesn't he, and pick the ball up deep and stuff. And I think Bellingham is that player that will push on and take his place and let him do his little roaming around and picking the ball up early and stuff. And then, as you say, Foden and Saka, they'll just get them on either wing, and I think that they will be able to, like say, interchange and just cause people loads and loads of problems.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need to. I mean, maybe we do need to have two defensive midfielders in front with the defense that we've got. But I think we can get away with, as you say, Andy. It's like we'll score more than you.
Yeah,
I think that
that
is
is Brazil, doesn't it? So good stuff. Right, shall we do getting the reses? Has anybody got any getting the reses? I forgot mine from earlier in the show, so I've not.
You
got
haven't.
one. I have.
You
I
can't.
genuinely have. I went to write it down. We got talking about something else, and then I completely forgot what it was.
How?
What was we talking about when I forgot about it? Can anyone
You
remember?
went, oh, I'll write it down. Oh, I don't need to write. No, you went, where's the pen? Oh, I don't need to. Oh, I've got a computer. So do you not put it on your computer?
No, I've put getting reses and then I've stopped typing. No. Anyway, have you got a getting reses?
I'm going to go with Bradford City's unveiling video for Sarc, because I can't think of anything else.
Nice.
So that could get the reses. There's mine.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, mine's going to be that. What's that word? Amnesia. I almost forgot that. Then that can get in the reses. Hey, you see what I've done there? See what I've done?
Well, hold on. There's a tumbleweed just going past the back there, Russ.
That's the dad joke. That's the dad joke.
That's a bad joke.
No, I tell you what can get in the reses. What can get in the reses is murals or advertising hoardings and boards in this town that are for other things that are not related to our football club. I'm not gonna
that was brilliant,
wasn't it?
The sign wars. That was excellent.
But just what? Who thought that was?
They don't think.
It just baffles me. At what point do they think, "Oh, this is a good idea. Let's put a welcome to Wrexham sign up, built on a billboard in Edgeley, the hub of next to Stockport County's ground." Oh, brilliant! Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Absolutely.
Not the first one. And the second one.
Yeah. And then they've just grayed it out and they took it all down and not put
it down yet.
I really hope they put a third one up.
We don't condone vandalism, but in this case, I think we do.
Very funny.
It was brilliant. Made my day.
If that was you or you know who that was, can you please give them a high five from us or whatever? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Oh look, Daniel Davis came late and then agrees with you. The Sarc unveiling for Bradford can get in the reses. Excellent stuff. Right, boys.
Andy, have you got to get in the reses?
Yeah, he forgot that, then, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
No, I thought you agreed with Waggie. I thought you said that was your.
I'm not done with getting the reses.
So. Getting the reses. That you agree with whoever is getting in the reses.
Andy, what was your getting the reses?
And last week, you started out with the getting the reses with yours about what was it? Oh, the City Trophy thing. And then I knew Waggie had one because Waggie said at the beginning of the show, "Oh, I have a good one this week." You went from the City thing straight on to the next topic, and Waggie never got to do his.
Andy, let's not have a production meeting now. Come on. I know I get it wrong every week. Jesus, it's not a professional podcast, this, Anyway, what's your getting the reses, Andy?
Oh, I forgot.
Is it me?
I genuinely have forgot.
No, that's
right. It's not really Southgate's defense-minded play. That's what I'm putting in there. We need to go full on attack for this Euros. None of this play it safe. None of this 1-0. Let's see it out. We need to just, like Waggie said, use Foden and use Bellingham. How they play at their natural clubs, and those two will run the show. So Southgate's defensive mind. Obviously, we need defence. I'm not saying we don't, but that style of play that needs to go. Full stop.
Yeah, we can't hang on like we tried against Italy.
Yeah,
we need to 2-3-0 up, and then we can sit back and start trying to defend.
Yeah, and the weather.
Yeah.
Well, the weather today.
Wow. Yeah,
it is a Reza.
Created a Reza.
Created a Reza. Yeah.
How do we go from Tuesday to that? It's unbelievable.
Good stuff. Right, let's wrap it up. Thank you to everybody for watching and listening. Do like the show, please, if you would. That would be great on YouTube. If you were listening to us on any podcast player, please rate and review us. That helps as well. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers to all our patrons. You are very, very much appreciated. Don't forget, if you join our Patreon, then you get the shows ad-free before everybody else. Obviously, this show goes out on a Wednesday to everybody. If you're watching live on YouTube, that stands to reason. We are hopefully, fingers crossed, with a tailwind and all the stars aligning, interviewing Carlton Palmer tomorrow night. So that will be out to patrons as soon as we've done that, and then it'll be out to everybody else shortly after. We are continuing all the way through the summer. We're going to do England specials as well, and we'll do reaction stuff to everything that happens with County. Hopefully we can sign some bloody players soon. That's all I'm going to say.
It's only May.
Barkley. We've got Barkley. He's already signed.
We've got Ross Barkley. Yeah. He's bought a house in Bramall, hasn't he? Yeah.
Did you see that tweet?
It's all over the internet. It's all over the internet. It's well true.
Did you see the tweet as well? So we've seen him in Reeds and Rains.
Yeah.
The one that's now a hairdresser's.
Yeah. Brilliant. Waggy, cheers very much. Friend of the show, Andy. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, friend of the show.
Oh, I should have put that in the resume, shouldn't I?
I think somebody did in the comments.
What, me? All of me?
Well, I don't know if it was friend of the show or just you.
Yeah, and we'll be back next week with a new fan guest, and we'll be continuing. So cheers, everybody. See ya.
Cheers. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.